Hi, everybody. This is Sean Fallon from Dickinson High School, and I'm here to help you navigate our new Performance Matters based evaluation platform that's going to be taking the place of My Learning Plan. Okay, this is the place that we're going to be going to view all our evaluations from our administrators and to acknowledge them. After we read them through, we're going to go here to upload our SGOs and do all the other tasks that we used to do inside of My Learning Plan. Okay, before you go to the site, if you could, please try to use Google Chrome as your browser. I wish I could give you a good explanation as to why some websites don't work properly when you're using your favorite browser, but I can't. So I just use Google Chrome because when I went to the workshop, that's what they said we should use. Okay, so if you have it, please use it. The site that we're going to is jcboe.truenorthlogic.com. Okay, so that's jcboe.truenorthlogic.com. Okay, this is what the login page should look like. Your login credentials for this site are going to be your Jersey City email. Okay, so your first initial, your last name at jcboe.org, and your password to log in for the first time is going to be changeme18. Okay, please don't pay attention to the credentials that I'm using right now. I'm only using these because these are the credentials I was given at the training, and these contain actual teacher evaluations that I can show you. Because if I open up my own personal portal, there won't be any evaluations in there to show you because my administrators haven't put them in yet. Okay, so this is just the training site. When you go in, this is what you're going to see as soon as your administrators start to put your evaluations in there. So let me just log in. Okay, and this is going to be your home page. Okay, so before we get into how we're going to navigate this, I would just first thing to do, I would say, would be to come up here. It'll say your name. It obviously isn't going to say teacher training. Okay, come in here and go to manage profile and change your password. Okay, you probably shouldn't keep change me 18 as your password if you don't want to. So come on down here, click on change password, type in the one you want, verify it. If you'd like to make up a recovery question in case you need to use the password reset feature, you can type in any question you want right there, type in the answer, and just save it. Okay, so now the login credentials for this site will be your Jersey City Board of Ed email and the password that you're creating yourself. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is the Help tab. That little question mark right there will bring you to this Performance Matters information page. This is the same page or a similar page to the one that you were shown when we did the Performance Matters training for the data platform. Okay, if you don't want to hear me walk you through this video and you'd like to read through here and do it on your own, by all means, you can open up the user guide right here and you can read through how to navigate the site. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my dashboard by just clicking home. Okay, and for here, the evaluation that I'm going to show you is right here. But before we get to that, just two other things I'd like to mention. Number one is the mail. Okay, this message center is important. Number one, because this is where all of your administrators are going to inform you that they've started an evaluation for you. Okay, this is linked to your Jersey City Board of Ed email. So if an administrator sends you a message inside this platform, it will also be sent to your district email. Okay, so if they start an evaluation for you, if you've had one and they need you to answer any questions at the end, or they need you to acknowledge it, this is where you'll be notified. And most importantly, if you check your message center regularly, okay, you'll get notifications about evaluations that have been scheduled that you might not have even been told about yet. Okay, you'll get a message for that, and you'll also have it show up in your calendar. Okay, right next to this little envelope, you see a calendar. Okay, and this is where any evaluations that you have scheduled will show up. Okay, so if you want to log on here periodically and see if maybe an administrator has scheduled something for you that you don't know about, you might get lucky and have it show up in here, and you might know about it, before they're ready to tell you. Okay, so that's your calendar, and that's what will show up inside your calendar. The next place we're going to go is to observations. Okay, and these are the tasks that we're going to be doing inside the platform, from now through the rest of the year. Okay, the first thing I want to show you is the observation dashboard. Okay, this is a pretty simple page. It's going to show you any evaluations that you have scheduled, any that you have in progress, and any that have been finalized. Okay, this is like your main page for you to look at evaluations that you have coming or ones that you have in progress. Okay, if you go down here to observations of me, okay, this is where you will see evaluations that you have scheduled. Okay, this is not an actual evaluation. What this is a training one that was, I guess, simulated for the purpose of showing us, how to use the platform. Okay, so I'm going to click on this, and it's going to bring me to all my domains. Okay, I'm going to go through these in just a minute. Okay, but before I do that, I'm going to go back home, and I'm going to click on this practice evaluation. Okay, I'm not going to go through all the domains inside of here because I'm going to show it to you by using an actual evaluation plan that they created for the training. Okay, this is what your personal, assessment or your personal evaluation login page is going to look like. All right, the first thing that you're going to be asked to do for the year is a self-assessment. Okay, so if you click on self-assessment, inside here is what you're being asked to do. Okay, if you click on the first one, the beginning of the year assessment, this is actually pretty simple. Okay, this is a self-assessment that your administrators are going to ask you to do, where you take the actual Danielson model and you rate yourself. Okay, so this is a good place for you to read through all the domains, and it gives you an opportunity to check off what you think you are. Okay, so for this particular domain, domain 1, component 1A, demonstrating knowledge and content of pedagogy, okay, you can read through all of these critical attributes and you can give yourself a rating. Okay, as you go through here, you click on, what best suits you or what you think you are. Okay, and then after you decide, you can rate yourself effective, highly effective, partially effective, whatever it is that you'd like. Okay, I'm not going to go through every one of these because you get the idea. It's basically a way for you to familiarize yourself with the Danielson model and to get a really good idea of what the administrators are looking at when they come in your classroom. Okay, if you would like to make something a focus area, okay, you're going to click on this little tab right here on the top right. Okay, each one of the domain component areas has this little focus area choice. By you clicking on focus area, this is your way of telling your administrator that this is something that you want to work on for the year, and this is something that you'd like them to put special emphasis on when they help you build your professional growth plan for the year. Okay, so anywhere in these domains, if you feel like it's something that you really want to make a point of emphasis and you really want to help yourself get better at for the year, you can click on it, make it a focus area, and your administrator should help you do that. Okay? In the self-assessment, you're going to rate yourself in every domain. Okay? Domain 1, 2, and 3 are all the same. Obviously, when you click in each, the components are different, but it's the same idea. You read through it, you rate yourself. Obviously, that doesn't become a part of your evaluation. What it is a great tool for you to help become familiar with the framework and for your administrators to know, basically what you think of your own teaching abilities and what they would like to help you on for the year, what they should focus on helping you with for the year. Okay, domain 4, if you wanted to rate yourself on domain 4, you probably could, but domain 4, as far as I'm concerned, has always been an artifact-driven domain. Okay, this is where you upload your your teacher portfolio and all your artifacts for the year. This really isn't a critical part of the self-evaluation or the self-assessment. But if they'd like you to go in there and to complete it, it's just the same as the others. Okay, after you finish your self-assessment, you'll just submit it, and your administrators will get a chance to take a look at it. Okay, so that's the self-assessment. There is a mid-year assessment for domains 1 and 4 that some of your administrators might ask you to complete. It's the same exact format. You'd click on it, you'd hit start, and it would show you the domains. You'd rate yourself. Okay, the end of the year of self-assessment is the same thing. Okay, after you're done with the self-assessment, you can come down to your SGO. Okay, I do not know if your administrators are going to ask you to upload your SGO. I know at the beginning of the year this year we submitted them. Traditionally, we would upload them to My Learning Plan. But if you are asked to upload your SGO this year, it's really simple. Just click on Beginning of the Year SGO, and it walks you through the whole process. Okay? Down here, where it says SGO or Student Objective Form 1, you would just click on Attach File. That would bring you to your computer's document storage area. You would click on the file. It would upload, in the same way that it would to Performance Matters. I'm sorry, to My Learning Plan. Okay? So that's how you would upload SGO Forms 1 and 2. And then you would close it and it would be submitted. Okay, so now that we're done with that, we're going to take a look at the first observation. Okay? Before I get into the first observation, just a little info for your information. A lot of people are confused about, who gets what evaluation-wise. I asked one of my vice principals to give me the information, and what I was told is that for non-tenured teachers, years 1 and 2, you're getting 2 long and 1 short observations. Okay, you're supposed to have them for multiple observers. That means the same person can't come in every time. It should be more than 1 person, and that's for the first 2 years. For years 3 and 4 of your non-tenure time, okay, the 2 and the 1 are reversed. You now get 1 long evaluation and 2 short observations. Okay, this also should be done with multiple observers. Not the same person coming in all 3 times. Minimum of 2 people doing the 3 observations. Okay, for tenured teachers, you get 2 short observations from multiple observers. Okay, so that means 2 20-minute observations from 2 different people. One of them is announced, one is unannounced. Okay, so that was just a little FYI, just in case anybody was confused about, who was coming in and when. So if we look at the first observation, here's our pre-conference form. Okay, we're going to click on pre-conference, and you are going to answer the questions as we scroll down, in a very similar way to what you were doing on My Learning Plan. Okay, here's the question. Here's your area to type it in. It's the same way all the way down. Okay, when you're done, you're going to mark it complete, and your administrator will be allowed to view it. Okay? After the pre-conference, we get into the observation form. Okay? Notice that for this first long observation, it says domains 1, 2, and 3. The reason it only says 1, 2, and 3 is, for the reason that I kind of mentioned a few minutes ago. Okay, domain 4 is artifact driven, and that's where you're going to be uploading all of your documents that you submit at the end of the year for your score. Okay, so I'm going to click on long 1. It says no observations to view, but obviously when your administrator comes into your classroom and does your observation, the domain, in the same way that you saw it in your self-assessment, will show up here, and it will show you exactly how your administrator scored you for every area of every domain. Okay? That's what it would look like. Okay? Domain 1 is right here, so you'd click on it. Domain 1 and all its components would be there with all the scores that your administrator gave you. As we scroll down, after you look at your scores, you get to, take a look at what you were given, the evidence that the administrators provided you, that they saw when they were in your room during the eval. That'll all be listed in there. When you're done reading through that, you take a look at your post-observation reflection. And once again, very similar to what it was in My Learning Plan, okay, you're going to answer the same old questions. Okay, how did the lesson go? Were you able to bring any samples of student work? If you are, what do those samples reveal about the students' levels of engagement? Okay, these are all questions that we've seen before, that you've answered before on My Learning Plan, that we're going to just answer on a different platform to close out the evaluation. So that's basically the way it looks. Observation number 1 is the long. The 2 shorts are the same thing. Okay, you'd open it up. It would have all the information that the administrator had listed, all the evidence, and how they scored you. And same thing, once you're done, you do the post-observation reflection. It's the same all the way down the line. Okay. Before I mentioned domain 4 being artifact driven, this is what I mean by that. Okay, obviously your portfolio is something that you're going to either hand in or you're going to upload. Once this is set up, you're going to be able to upload your artifacts here and share them with the administrators. Your professional responsibilities. This is going to be similar to what it was in My Learning Plan. You're going to list everything in that domain, and you're going to submit it to the administrator. As we get down to the bottom, okay, the final 2 pieces to the puzzle this year are going to be the summative and the PDP. Okay, the summative is where you have your SGO scores. Okay, so at the end of the year, when you do your final SGO assessment and you tally up all your scores and give yourself your final number, okay, this is where you're going to attach the spreadsheet, from the state, where we put all of our information. Okay, you put in your 2 scores and you would submit. This is where you'd import your SGP scores. We really didn't go through this at the workshop, but it's a very similar tool to the one that we just looked at. It's going to be a place where you can upload, any artifacts or data that you're asked to upload by your administrator. Your summative conference is going to be in here. Okay, so very similar questions to the ones that we answered on My Learning Plan. Okay, this is going to be a part of your summative conference. You're going to fill this out before you meet with your administrator at the end of the year. They'll be able to view it on this platform. Your composite score report is your final scores for the end of the year when everything's tallied up. This is where you'd see it. It's your score for all the domains. They give you an educator practice score. All the score weights are here. Your FGO score will be here. Your student growth percentile will be here, and everything else that you see. Okay. Finally, your PDP. Okay, and this way of uploading it to me is a little bit easier than it's been in years past. I know at my school we've just been given a link to the the state form. We've had to fill it out, print it, and hand it in to our administrator before we left, in June. Here, it's going to link you directly to the document. Okay, so when you click on your PDP, you're going to just scroll down here, and you're going to get the template directly from the state. Okay, right here it says template and sample PDP. When you click on it, it's going to give you a download. Open it up, scroll through, and type it in the exact same way we do every year. Okay? When you're done, you save this on your computer, either on the desktop or in the documents or wherever you want to save it, and then you're going to upload it. Okay? So it's a download, fill out, save, and then upload. Okay? And that is your PDP submission for the year. Okay? That's pretty much all I have for now. It's a fairly simple platform to navigate. There's a couple other notes for you. There is a split screen feature where you can go back and get information from questions that you've answered before. Okay, so if you're inside your long observation or your first observation, okay, and you're going through the domains, you can look at your pre-conference form, okay, and see how you answered, okay? So this bottom right corner, you see this little split screen button. Click on the split, okay? And if I want to answer this question using information that I submitted someplace else on the form, I can open any other area of my teacher evaluation plan right here in this split screen area, okay? So I can take information from my self-assessment. I can take information from a time where I've answered these questions at another observation or a previous observation. I can copy and paste it and put it in, or I can use that, answer that I submitted before as a reference for this new one, okay? So this, I thought, was a pretty cool feature because it allows you to access information that you've put in here before instead of having to type the same thing over and over again, okay? So as we go back here to the home page, just one last thing I wanted to mention. If you end up having to use the password recovery mode, this is a great way to go see if you have a username set up in the system. Okay, when this system was set up, our data department took all of the teacher information that the district has on file in System 3000, and they used that to put into this platform. Okay, so when you go over here to the login and your profile, okay, this is a great place to check to see if the district has accurate information on you. Okay, this is where it would say, what your current position is, where you're working, the type of demographic that you're teaching. Obviously it doesn't say here, but when you look at your own profile, all that information is going to be there. Okay, if you end up not being able to log in using your district email and using the ChangeMe18 password, come over here to the main page where it says forgot password or forgot username. Okay, click this forgot password. It's going to ask you to enter your username. If you enter, whatever your name is at jcboe.org, and it says that there is no username on file, okay, what you need to do is get in contact with your principal or email Bruce Henniger at the Board of Ed and let him know that your email address and your name was not entered properly into this system, and they need to go in there and they need to create a login for you. Okay, so that's pretty much it for now. It's a really simple site to navigate. Once you get inside each of those tabs, it's very similar actions to the stuff that we were doing on My Learning Plan. Okay, so it's not going to be too hard to figure out. If you have any questions or problems navigating this, my name is Sean Fallon from Dickinson High School. My email is sfallon@jcboe.org. You guys can send me an email, and I'll be more than happy to help you walk you through this the best I can. Okay? Thank you very much.